My child, this message reaches you at the edge of a moment where time itself is trembling. Every second that slips away is carrying you closer to something you cannot ignore. You feel it in your chest, the heaviness, the urgency, the unexplainable pressure that warns you something irreversible is coming. The air around you has shifted, and though no one else can sense it, you know deep within that the countdown has already begun. 3 hours are not just numbers on a clock, they are the thin thread keeping you from the shadow prepared to consume you. That is why you are here, reading these words at the exact second heaven decided to intervene. Listen carefully, for this is not coincidence, and it is not ordinary. You were led here because the act you committed, whether knowingly or unknowingly, has summoned consequences you cannot outrun. Still, mercy is extended, but only if you grasp it before the clock strikes its final chime. Do not look away now. Do not let your thoughts wander. If your eyes leave these words, the protection I am weaving around you will fall apart, and you will walk straight into what has been prepared against your soul. My child, this warning is not meant to frighten you, it is meant to awaken you. The veil between safety and danger is thinner than you can imagine right now. What you do in these next hours will determine if your name is erased or preserved. The heavens have already seen what was done, and though others remain blind, nothing is hidden from divine eyes. Your choice, your action, triggered something that is now moving toward you faster than you realize. You cannot stop time, but you can decide how to respond before it runs out. The angels tremble because they know the weight of what is about to unfold. It is not death alone that threatens you, but the silence that comes when your destiny is stolen without warning. That is why this message was torn through barriers to reach you before the final hour strikes. Every sound around you seems normal, yet your spirit knows different. The ticking of the clock, the whisper in the stillness, the unease in your body, these are not coincidences. They are signs that the storm is already pressing against your life. You think no one saw what you did, but heaven recorded it in fire. A mark was placed over your name, and it has summoned consequences that cannot be delayed. Yet mercy stands close by, waiting for you to grasp it with trembling hands. Your enemies want this moment to pass without your awareness, so they can celebrate your downfall. They hid their laughter in shadows, thinking you would never know the truth. But now heaven tears open the secrecy and reveals the danger before it crushes you. The next 3 hours are not like any other you've lived. Each second carries weight, each breath is counted, each heartbeat echoes louder in eternity. You are not reading this by chance. You were chosen to hear it because your soul is still precious beyond measure. The room you sit in is not empty. Though unseen, divine presence surrounds you, speaking these words as if thunder is pressing against your chest. Do not turn away, for your refusal will cost you more than you can imagine. The path ahead is set like a stage. On it walks betrayal, on it crawls danger, and on it hovers the shadow of death waiting for your silence. Still, the light is not gone. If you hold to this message, the script can change. Someone close to you is already aware of what was stirred up against your life. Their silence is not innocence, it is complicity. They hope the final moment comes before you awaken to their role in your suffering. Your breath feels heavier tonight for a reason. Heaven has placed the weight of truth upon you so you cannot ignore it. You must hear every word, for if you miss even one, the warning loses its shield. The one who betrayed you is walking freely as if nothing has happened. But in their heart, they know a clock is ticking over your head. They believe you will never discover the full story, but tonight, their confidence will shatter. The shadow that hovers over you is not ordinary, my child. It was designed through schemes whispered in darkness, through jealous tongues that dared to speak against your name. These forces think their net is unbreakable, but they do not know the power of heaven's intervention. Every second since you began reading, light has been pushing back against the darkness that wanted you blind. This is why your skin feels chilled, why your heart feels unsettled, why you sense someone is near though the room is still. These are signs that what was hidden is being revealed to you now. Your spirit is trembling because your soul knows the truth. The countdown is real. The enemy thought you would not hear this in time, but heaven overruled their plans. You are not powerless, you are positioned for a choice that can break the chain. 3 hours may sound like nothing, but in heaven's time it is everything. Entire destinies have turned in less than a breath, and yours can turn now. Do not waste even a single moment, for hesitation is what they want from you. The one who betrayed you is closer than you think. Their smile hides poison, their words drip with false care, and yet you trusted them. Heaven is showing you that trust was misplaced, and now the truth is too sharp to ignore. You thought this person stood on your side, but they carried a double face. In front of you they played loyalty, but behind your back they stirred the forces of destruction. They did this because your light was too strong for their shadow to tolerate. The heavens heard every whisper spoken in secret. Even when you weren't there, your name was dragged through fire to summon harm upon you. But today, divine justice pulls away their disguise and exposes what they never wanted you to see. The act they committed is what summoned death to hover near you. It was not random, it was orchestrated. Yet, because this message reached you, you still have a narrow door of escape left open. The air around you may feel heavy, but that heaviness is awareness. You are being awakened so you do not perish blindly. This heaviness is not punishment, it is protection that demands your attention before it is too late. Do not think for a second that this is just words. If it were so, heaven would not have shattered barriers just to bring this to you now. This is the final attempt to warn you before the seal of silence falls. Someone near you is already aware you are reading this. Their spirit is unsettled because the trap they set is weakening. They know if you accept this message, their plan collapses before their eyes. They believed you would never listen, never open, never read, never believe. But you did. And because you did, everything is shifting right now, even as these words are pouring into your soul. My child, the betrayer never worked alone. Shadows gather in groups, whispering and planning as if their silence can hide them. But what is spoken in darkness cannot remain hidden when heaven sends light to uncover it. You felt the coldness in their words before, but you ignored it. You brushed off the uneasy feeling, believing loyalty still lived in their heart. But tonight, heaven confirms what your spirit always suspected: they never stood for you. The countdown is not just about time, it is about exposure. Within these 3 hours, everything will turn, and masks will fall. The person you thought you knew will no longer be able to hide. Even now, they sense that something is wrong. They feel restless, checking their surroundings, wondering why their plan doesn't feel secure anymore. That is because heaven is dismantling their web before it can wrap around you. The place you trusted is no longer safe. What they planned against you was closer than you realized. It was meant to unfold right where you felt most at ease. But the heavens rushed this message so your eyes could open before you stepped into it blindly. Do you feel how your heart races as you hear this? That is not fear, it is recognition. Your soul already knows the truth of what is being spoken. The betrayer thought you would never recognize them. They believed their lies were sealed tight, their story too smooth to question. But now, every word they ever said to you feels sharp and false in your memory. They moved carefully, but their mistake was this: they underestimated divine timing. They thought you would remain blind until the very end. Yet you were chosen, and that choice shattered their illusion. Their plan involved more than just words. There was an act done against you that invited this dark shadow. They sealed your name with intent, hoping it would summon your destruction quietly. What you feel now, the heavy energy, the strange interruptions, the sudden conflicts, it is the result of that act. You wondered why life felt pressed in recent days. Now you know it was their seed growing into poison. Heaven will not let it stand, but only if you heed this warning. You must not delay, for each second determines whether your covering stays or lifts. These 3 hours are the last open door. Your betrayer already feels victory near, but what they don't know is that the message reaching you has already ruined their celebration. Their silence is cracking, their calm is fading. The truth will collapse everything they built against you. My child, the betrayer's mask is slipping. The face they showed you in the light is not the same one they wear in shadows. And now, the heavens are uncovering the cracks for you to see. You remember the sudden distance, the unusual silence, the way their eyes shifted when you asked simple things. Those were not coincidences, they were signs. Signs that their loyalty had already been sold away. The one who sits closest to you is not the one who protects you. Their nearness was part of the design, their false comfort the bait. They knew that closeness was the only way to strike without warning. This person watched you with eyes that pretended to care. Yet in their private moments, they rejoiced in your weakness. The heavens have shown it, their smile was never pure, it was a weapon. The time is running faster than you feel. Minutes are slipping away like water in your hands. Each tick is echoing louder in eternity, reminding you that exposure is near. The betrayer prepared words they thought they would speak after your fall. They rehearsed lies to tell others about your absence. They imagined themselves free, celebrating as if your voice had been erased forever. But tonight, everything shifts. Because you opened this message, their script is destroyed. The words they rehearsed will turn into ashes in their mouth. This betrayal runs deeper than material things. It was not just about possessions, or name, or influence. It was about ending the destiny written over your life. The betrayer carries a name you know well. It has crossed your lips countless times. That name is now burning in your spirit, pressing heavy even before it is spoken aloud. They may be family, they may be a friend, they may be someone who pretended to stand for you. But the heavens confirm, they are not who they claimed to be. Their mask is cracking under the weight of exposure. Do you feel the unease tightening in your chest? That is because the betrayer is close enough for your spirit to sense. You are not imagining it, you are discerning it. They are not far away, my child. They are in your circle, not beyond it. That is why this warning had to be released before the last hour strikes. My child, heaven shows me the secret meeting. Words were exchanged in whispers, not meant for your ears. But now those words echo through eternity, exposing their true intent. They spoke about you as if you were not human, as if your life was just a piece on their board. Their laughter was cruel, mocking what you never knew. They believed heaven would remain silent, but they were wrong. The betrayer sealed your name in that gathering. Their agreement was simple, your downfall for their gain. That choice summoned the shadow that hovers over you now. Every lie they rehearsed was sharpened like a blade. They prepared the exact moment to strike so you would never see it coming. Their silence around you was only the calm before their storm. They used your trust as the key. With it, they opened the door to danger. And once inside, they prepared the chain that now tries to bind you. This is why your nights grew heavier. This is why the sudden conflicts appeared around you without reason. Their act was working in the unseen realm, spreading its poison. The betrayer thought distance would protect them. They thought no one could trace it back. But heaven's eyes pierce every shadow, and nothing escapes divine record. Even now, the name burns in your memory. You may try to push it away, but the weight returns. That is not fear, it is revelation. The betrayer's plan was never just about you. They wanted to gain something for themselves. Your fall was only the price they were willing to pay for their rise. They moved carefully, but in their greed they left traces. Little signs, small mistakes, words set out of place. These are the very cracks heaven is exposing to you tonight. If you close your eyes and search your memory, you'll see it. That strange shift in their tone, that unexplained absence, that secret phone call. You thought nothing of it. But it was part of the design. Heaven reveals these details now so you can no longer deny what your spirit already knew. The betrayer cannot hide any longer. The countdown forces their mask to fall. My child, the heavens whisper of the motive that drove them. It was not random hatred, it was burning envy. They could not bear the light you carried, for your presence reminded them of what they lacked. Every blessing on your life became their thorn. Each step forward you took pressed deeper into their wounded pride. They decided if they could not rise, they would drag you down. The plan was fueled by envy, but wrapped in silence. They hid behind smiles and gestures of care. All the while, their heart plotted against you in secret. Do you remember the sudden shift in how they treated you? The distance that made no sense, the coldness that pierced where warmth once lived. That was the beginning of their plot manifesting in the open. Their shocking act was more than betrayal. It was an exchange. They offered your name for their advancement. They traded your trust as currency for their own selfish gain. They handed your secrets into the wrong hands. Details only they knew were whispered in rooms where your enemies waited. They believed you would never discover it, but heaven recorded every word. This is why doors began to shut unexpectedly. This is why opportunities suddenly collapsed. Behind each closed door was their hand, pressing against you while pretending to lift you. The act they performed was designed to erase your influence. They wanted you forgotten, silenced, removed from the path heaven set before you. But tonight the exposure turns the tables. They thought their motive was hidden under layers of lies. They believed no one would connect the dots. But one mistake changed everything. They forgot heaven never forgets. The shadow was unleashed because of their choice. And that shadow hovers now, demanding its due. But mercy stands near, breaking through the darkness to give you one last chance. The betrayer smiles even now, unaware that their name is being revealed. Their calm is false, their laughter hollow. Soon, they will tremble under the weight of their own act. You must see it, my child. The heavens will not let you remain blind. That is why this final warning is ringing through your soul with unshakable force. My child, the first ripple of their act struck your peace. Nights once calm became restless. Dreams once bright turned heavy with shadows pressing against your spirit. Then the second ripple reached your relationships. Misunderstandings rose without reason. Those you trusted began to distance themselves as if a silent wall had been built. The third ripple attacked your work, your progress, your daily path. Doors that were once wide open slammed without warning. Efforts you poured yourself into suddenly bore no fruit. These were not ordinary troubles. They were the fingerprints of betrayal working silently against you. The consequences of their choice bleeding into every area of your life. The fourth ripple was the strangest. Your own body began to sense the weight. Tiredness that had no cause, sudden weakness that made no sense, a heaviness in your chest. These were signs of the shadow feeding on what was done against you. The fifth ripple struck your thoughts. Doubt whispered louder than faith. Confusion clouded what you once saw clearly. The sixth ripple was isolation. You began to feel alone even in a crowded room. That loneliness was not natural, it was designed by their betrayal to separate you from strength. And now comes the seventh ripple, the countdown itself. 3 hours hanging over your life like a storm ready to break. Each tick marking the distance between your survival and your silence. Every consequence was tied to their choice. The moment they acted, the waves began. And now you stand in the center, feeling the weight of every ripple pressing toward you at once. They thought you would drown quietly. They imagined you breaking under the pressure without understanding the source. But heaven refuses to let you die without truth. This exposure is not to harm you, it is to save you. To rip the blindfold away before the last minute falls. To open your eyes before the darkness swallows what cannot be returned. The betrayer's plan is collapsing even as these words touch your spirit. Their ripples are reversing. Their design is unraveling before the light of revelation. My child, the first hour of the countdown is already shifting the air around you. The silence feels heavier, the walls seem closer, and every sound echoes differently. This is no illusion, it is the pressure of what has been set in motion. The betrayer senses this too. Their restlessness grows, their calm slipping away. They feel the collapse of their hidden plan creeping toward them. They watch you more closely now, hoping you remain blind. Their eyes follow, their words sound casual, but inside they tremble. For they know heaven's light is moving fast. The closer exposure comes, the more desperate they become. Their mask cracks at the edges. You can see it in their tone, their sudden mistakes, their unusual silence. The second hour will be darker than the first. In it, the betrayer will try to provoke you, to weaken you, to distract you from this truth. Their goal is to make you ignore this message and turn away before the hour is done. But heaven will not allow their trap to hold you. Even now, your spirit is awake in ways it has never been. Your eyes are opening to details you used to miss. Look carefully and you will notice it, the slip of their tongue, the strange urgency in their eyes, the way they avoid your questions. These are not random. These are signs of guilt pressing them. Their calm is false, their laughter is empty. Inside, fear is devouring them. For they know the secret is burning, ready to be revealed. The third hour is the final strike. If you endure till then, the mask will fall completely. The betrayer's name will no longer be hidden, for heaven will rip it open. But the warning is clear, if you ignore this, the shadow will swallow you first. 3 hours is all that separates safety from silence. This is why every word matters now. The betrayer believed you would never survive this long. They thought their act had sealed your fate permanently. But your decision to listen is already rewriting the ending. What was meant for death is turning into exposure. What was designed to bury you will now bury their lies. The heavens are ensuring justice strikes before the clock runs out. My child, the betrayer's shadow is almost fully revealed. Their steps are shaky now, their heart races when your eyes meet theirs. They cannot hide the trembling that begins when truth hovers this close. They once looked at you with confidence, pretending care, pretending love. Now those same eyes dart away, unable to withstand the weight of exposure. You can already feel their nervousness when they speak. The heavens show me their hands, once steady, now restless. They fidget, they avoid, they stumble in their words. Guilt is choking them though they still try to play innocent. Even their silence betrays them. They avoid the conversations they once controlled. They fear a single word may open the door to their secret. The betrayer carried your name into places of danger. They spoke words against you while smiling to your face. This double tongue is what called the shadow against your life. They pretended to protect you, but their heart desired your fall. They moved as though they were family, but inside they longed for your end. Their loyalty was always an act on a stage. Now the stage is burning. The mask is melting. And the truth is too heavy for them to carry any longer. Every sign around you points toward them. The strange energy, the shifting atmosphere, the heaviness in your chest, it all intensifies when they are near. Your spirit is confirming what your mind hesitates to accept. The heavens say the betrayer's name is already pressing on your lips. You feel it, you know it, yet you are afraid to speak it. That hesitation is the last chain they hold over you. But chains cannot last when fire burns them. The countdown is the fire, and with every tick, their control weakens. Very soon, the name will be undeniable. The betrayer knows their time is short. That is why they watch you so closely, why they act strangely, why they try to keep you distracted. They are desperate because they know exposure is near. And when the clock strikes its final hour, their secret will no longer belong to them, it will belong to the world. You will see their face for what it truly is. And their plan will collapse at your feet.